Hi and welcome to part C of my Blender to Unity tower defense game tutorials, and in this part we're going to be modelling the machine gun turret. I'll let you into a little secret. I'm actually showing you a picture here of what it's probably going to look something like at the end. We're not going to be texturing it today, I'm sorry to say, but I wanted just to show you what it will look like, just to give you a taste. Some of the things here you can see are things like the normal maps here, which have been added. We could maybe get a bit creative and create some more normal map styles. We've got some bolts in there to kind of make it look like it's being held together. Some things down the side, and I've even done some normal maps on the edge of the barrel just to save a few verts there. So that's what something like it's going to look like once we've textured it. But for now, for today, let's just get the model in Blender, unwrap it, and have it all ready to texture. So with that said, let's go into Blender. The one thing I noticed when I saved last time was that the stand block that I'd created I thought was a little on the skinny side. Let's just hide the stand cylinder. If you can see what I mean, it just looks a little bit on the skinny side. So let's just quickly resolve that. Let's tab into edit mode. We will go to the top view, and then we'll just press S and we'll do Shift Z so that we don't move it on the Z axis, and we'll just scale that out. Okay, like so. Tab out, and then we'll just quickly bring out the UV image editor. So you don't have to do this. Double check the scale, it looks good, but let's just double check. Control A, rotation to scale. You unwrap, of course that'll do that. I don't think it makes any difference. LR180, and then just grab that, just move it a little bit closer. Grab that, A, grab and pull it all in, put it in the middle somewhere like that. Okay, that looks good. Let's save that. We'll come out, Control S, and let's get on with the texturing the modelling the machine gun turret. So let's do this. So what we're going to do first of all is we're going to go back into this here. We can use either this or the cylinder stand. What I'm going to do is I'm going to just press Shift S and do cursor to selected, and that will put the cursor on the pivot point there at the top. And what we can do now is we can just do Shift A, tab into object mode, Shift A, mesh, cube, and this is going to be kind of like the have I still got it loaded? I have. This is going to be the main block here, the green, if you like, the green and yellow section. So let's obviously scale that in. It might be worth going to wireframe mode and just sort of scaling it in. Scale on the Z to scale on the Z. Grab on the Z. Go to side view with numpad 3. Just pop back out again. That doesn't look too bad actually. We've still got to add the guns, so let's not go too crazy. Let's make it a bit smaller. We'll do scale Shift Z just to move it in. How's that looking? That looks okay to me. That looks like an okay size. I'm really not happy with that block stand, but we'll see how we go. Yeah, that looks about the right size. We can maybe tweak it later on, but obviously it's a very boring looking block. Let's resolve that early by tabbing into edit mode, and before we do, we'll update the scale. Oh, it's very tempting. Excuse me, I'm blabbering on. Just to make the dimensions 0.5 look by 0.5 by 0.25, just to make it, an exact figure. If you just spin to the Z, then just grab on the Z, just move it up. That's fine. Back in here, and we will tab back into edit mode, and we will Control B and bevel all of the edges. Tell me before. I'm going to right click and cancel that. Did I adjust the scale? No, I did not. Let's just do Control A, rotation and scale. Tab back in, now do Control B. And the reason I do that is because if you don't do that, I find that the bevel doesn't split evenly. It seems to split perhaps on the x-axis more than the y-axis, on the z-axis, and make it a little bit uneven. That's what I find anyway. Okay, and you can Control B and move that around. I'll just do that again. Tab into here, Control B, and just kind of move it around. You can see if you go too far, it all goes a bit wonky. But just pick a. You need to keep it relatively sharp, but also showing a bevel, just to make it a little interesting. How's that? I'm going to go with that for now, guys. What I've been doing as well, again this is entirely optional because it does add more verts, is put an edge loop around here by doing Control R, left click, and then just right click to cancel the moving, and then just scaling it on the Z, just to kind of give it a little bit of love there. Okay, so that's the block made up, and again, like you say, you're thinking, oh, this looks really boring, but don't worry, we will texture it and make it interesting, but we do need to unwrap it. I'm not going to mirror mode this because I think we're almost there anyway. let's quickly pop back out. How's scale looking? Yeah, good. Control A, rotation, scale. I will show you how I unwrap a cube. I think the right way to unwrap a cube, or indeed a beveled cube in this case, if you just alt right click around the inside edge there and just unselect these top edges, and we'll do the same on the other side, and unselect these top edges, and then what we can do under the underside, is select those two and those two. These aren't ever going to be seen. You may even want to remove that face, if those two faces there, if you feel that you're not ever going to use them. Save on texturing space. Now if we do Control E, mark seam, and if I quickly just do A, U, unwrap, and then N, stretch, you can see it's done an okay job. These edges here look absolutely awful, and I know exactly how to fix that. What you need to do, unfortunately, is break these little corners up here. It's okay. When we finish with the texturing, you'll see that Substance Painter can really handle that really well. So we'll just do those. Can you see what I'm doing? I'm just kind of almost like a bird's beak, picking those bits there. Some of these are already selected. Look, they're already seamed, and those ones. So you see what I'm doing here. I hope that makes sense. I think that's it. I think that's all of them. Control E, mark seam, and now if we unwrap, can you see that's absolutely bang on perfect? It's not quite perfect, and that's because I think I stretched just marginally. I just front view. I marginally stretched that edge there, but to be honest with you, look at it, it's near perfect, isn't it? Okay, so we've got a good unwrap there. What we're going to do now is we are going to actually I'll just grab that and put it over there for now, just to give it a bit more space on that image. But we're not finished with this yet, because what I want to do now is do Control Tab 3, select the front face, Shift S, cursor to selected. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to create the barrels in a separate object. This will become clear why I'm doing this in a moment, so I will separate that out. Shift A, mesh, it's going to be a cylinder. We want to make sure that the cylinder cap type fill is nothing. Okay, I hope that's worked. Yes, it has, and we also do not anywhere near that many verts. I'm going to try 12. I think that's probably too many, but I'll let you decide if you want to have that many verts. I'll just RX90, okay, scale in, and then scale down. You can see what we're doing here. We're just creating the cylinder for the gun. Much too big. 3Z, GY, just to bring it out. About there. How are we looking? We're starting to look like a gun. Okay, let's smooth this off now. So we get let's smooth it off in a minute. So we'll tab there, Control Tab 2. We will ES that just to scale it in. Then EY. I'd hope that would have stayed, but it didn't. And now you can pick your gun size. And what I like to do as well, I mean, you can fiddle with this. GY, just pull that out maybe. And then, depending on how you're feeling, maybe we could do something like tab to mode Control R, grab that, and then scale that out, something like that. Yeah, maybe we could even get funky and do a couple in the middle. So let's tab back in, Control R, 1, 2, and we'll just scale it on the Y. Okay, Control Tab 3, select that edge there, ES, pull it out. And then Control Z, scale, no, so yeah, E, right click, and then do Alt S. I think that might do it. Yeah, that's moved it out straight. And then what we can do then, Control Tab 2, just grab that one, and Shift right click that one, and just scale it on the Y, just pull them out as well. Okay. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to press F on there to create a face. I'll talk about that in a moment, but for now let's just quickly smooth this all off, okay? Because at the minute it kind of looks very rough. Let me have a quick look at the picture that I created. How did I do that one? I did that very basic, didn't I? This one here is a bit more funky in that we've got a kind of wider barrel. Let's smooth this off. We'll do A and then faces smooth. Pop over to the object data and click Auto Smooth. And then we just need to go through and just Alt Shift right click these guys, okay. Control Z. If you inadvertently select on the wrong edge, then you can just Control Z. Okay, and then we'll edges sharp, and if we slide out, I like that. I like that more than the other one. Possibly, what I might do is just make that and just scale that up. How's that look? Well, yeah, that looks good. I like that. I'm going to go with that. But what I want to do is I want to make the. By the way, what I was going to say to you was, what you could do is if you go to face mode, is you could select that, do I to inset edges, pick up. Why is it being a monkey? Tab, Control A, rotation and scale. Tab that, and just do I. That's better. And then E as scale or something like that. Okay, yeah, we can see that I would probably make that a bit smaller, scale that in like that maybe. Yeah, so you've got a kind of big barrel edge, and we can do that, but you can probably see how many more verts that's created. I mean, you can hide that face in the middle if you want. It obviously at close range it looks a lot better, but if I just quickly show you this picture, these are normal maps where I've created the indent, so there's no extra polys used there, extra verts used there, whereas here, can I see how many there are used? If I just do, come on, selected, is that working? Verts 24, it's an extra 24 verts, and obviously we're going to do this twice, so it's going to be 48. I don't know, again, you know, I'll leave it up to your judgment to decide. For now, I'm just going to X and there's those vertices there, and then just F that out, and we'll create them in Substance Painter. How does that look? Something about it's bothering me. I can't put my finger on it. GG, just to pull that out. I think it's okay. I think when you see that moving around, we've got the gun attached to it, it'll look a whole lot better. Doesn't, for some reason, it doesn't look as good as this one. Maybe that's because that's textured. It's got a few more verts. Right, anyway, shut up, Richard. Let's get on with unwrapping it. And what we'll do is we will add a seam along the underside. That makes obvious sense, doesn't it? And a seam around there. And if we just quickly have a go at unwrapping that, let's have a look. Pardon me. That's done a pretty good job. We can get funky on this by just creating sort of seams here. Control E, mark seam. You see, the more of these you do, the better this becomes. I mean, you could even do, do a couple here. Mark seam. What's this bit here? That's not good, is it? Hang on. What a bit is it? That's probably this bit, isn't it? Yes, it's these bits. Sorry, excuse me. That hasn't been. Oh, and it hasn't behaved itself brilliantly, has it? Let's hide the sharp edges and just unselect these. Control E, eclipsing. Using the, well, it doesn't matter hugely because we're not going to be doing anything too elaborate on this. And I think that we can do some stuff just to grab there. Yeah, that's fine. Look, you can see you can move that inside there. Just rotate it a touch maybe. Ooh, it's a bit close, isn't it? Okay. LR 180, and then just grab that over there. Something like that. A, C, and what I'll be doing, by the way, so I can do this, and if I just do Control L, that'll make sure that everything's selected. I can just grab that, maybe and rotate it over there. Right. Great, so we've got an unwrap, and you're thinking, well, you haven't put it in the right place, and I haven't, and that's because I want to merge it with the turret in a minute. So what I'll do is I'll just do A and P to pin it, and that means if I unwrap it, it won't actually change it. I'll just grab that and move it down there. Okay, and what we will do is we will add the mirror modifier. But the pivot point at the moment is bang in the middle, and it's not the pivot point we want. We want to pivot it, we want to mirror it across here, so we can actually pick a different object. So we pick the, before I do that, let's just quickly rename this object here, shall we, to machine gun. Should we call it machine gun? Call it machine gun. And if we go back to here and do the mirror object and select machine gun, you can see it's done that. Now, by doing it this way and mirroring it and unwrapping it beforehand, what this means is that this will share the same texture space. So everything, if we paint onto here, it will paint onto here as well, which is absolutely fine. It's going to save us loads. If it looks too obvious, what you can do perhaps is rotate, after we've applied the mirror modifier, is rotate one of them slightly one way or the other just to make it look a bit different. But I didn't need to do that. Let me just show you here. These are exactly the same texture spaces, and you can see there's no discernible difference. It's not discernibly obvious, excuse me, that they look the same. So, you know, I guess maybe if you're putting some indents or bullet holes or something in them, you might need to rotate it a bit. Okay, good. Right, so with that done, let's apply this mirror modifier, and we will now we'll select these, okay, and then we'll shift right click on the machine gun and do Control J, which joins everything up. Something's gone wrong here, and I think I know what it is. We just need to go over here and click on the auto smooth, which wasn't selected for the machine gun. Okay, I kind of like this. Let's just rotate it. Zzz. Oh, just on the rotate on the Z. Zzz. There we go. You can see the kind of thing that this is going to look like now. RZ. Oh no, RZ. There. You can see. So this is the kind of thing. Oh, I'd like to make those guns a bit bigger, which makes me wish I really hadn't. Oh, hang on. Yes, I think I would like to make those guns a bit bigger. One other thing, yeah, blast. Oh, I might be in luck. Can I scale those out? And I'll just, okay, I'm gonna have to take the long road, aren't I? I'm gonna have to Z, C, no, select. I'm going to have to C. I don't know what I'm doing. A, and I'll just click L on there. There we go, and L. And if I do that, if I click normal, that'll select everything. I'm just going to X vertices on that. I will L and then P, separate by selection. Okay. I'll add the mirror modifier. Sorry. Click onto this object here, onto the new machine gun 001, add modifier mirror across the machine gun. Curiously, it kept the pivot point of the machine gun when I separated it by selection. Okay, okay, 5 to go to all the graphics stuff. I just now back into U. That's it. Let's just scale this up. Maybe scale and shift Y. Shift Y, yeah, so it doesn't get. Let's make it a bit fatter. What do you think? Yeah, I think that works a bit. It's a bit fatter. Yes, I'm doing it, man. I'm doing it. Right. So now let's quickly unwrap that again. Let's double check the scale. Excuse me. You know I love rotation of scale. You unwrap. We have to do Alt P to unpin them. You unwrap. Doesn't really different, is it? L grab. Oh, apart from that's bigger. Okay, if you're going to be light about it, I'll move you somewhere else for now. Let's just grab those, bring them down there, click on P. Okay, then we will tab out, apply the mirror modifier, shift right click, Control J to join them. Okay, and we're back in. And now, before I do that, one more thing I want to do. I'm just going to add one more thing at the back to make it interesting. I'm going to add a kind of panel at the back that makes it look like perhaps it's supporting it. A cylinder, excuse me. So let's just do Shift S, cursor to selected, and then we should have probably done this when we were doing the machine gun turrets. But so let's do tab back out into object mode, Shift A. Cylinder mesh cylinder. I think it will probably not put a caterpillar on again, and it's given us how many? 12 vertices, which is good. RX90, scaler in, zoom in a bit, scale in. You'll see where I'm going with this in a second. Scale it down a bit more. Yeah, so G on the Y. Okay, tab to edit mode. Just G on the Y there, and then scale it in like that. If I just show you where I'm going and then press F to face that, Control Tab 3, let's make that faces smooth, and then quickly go over to here, auto smooth, quickly Control Tab 2, sorry about this guys, edges sharp. We need to add a couple of seams, one at the bottom there, Alt Shift right click, Control E, mark seam. Let's have a quick look there, let's have a look, you unwrap, perfect. Yeah, and we'll add a mirror modifier, but obviously it's not on its own pivot point, it's on the machine gun, say obviously, but there we go, okay, and then we will apply, well hang on, before we do, I'm going to make them bigger. Tab, scale, Shift Y. How's that? That's nice and big, isn't it? You unwrap, I don't think, oh no, it's slightly bigger. L, grab, put over there. P that as well. P? Alt P, excuse me. What? Am I in the right place? P, there we go. Grab, move it over there somewhere. Tab in, and then we will apply it. Sorry, just to be clear, in case I didn't make it clear, because I did it, I unwrapped it before. I unwrapped it before I applied the mirror modifier, so they'll share the same texture space. If that wasn't clear, tab back out, apply. Okay, you'll see what I mean now. You see, although I've got them both selected, if I just select one of them, just press L and grab, can you see it's actually underneath it? Which is what we want, exactly what we want. It means it saves us texture space. And with that done, we can select these, select that, press Control J. And I think if I now tab in, I've got everything. There we go. I've got the back ends. I don't even know what these things are called. I just like they kind of just add some realism to it, like the like the guns need some sort of strengthening at the back. We've got those at the back, we've got those at the front, we've got the piece in the middle, so it's all there. Now if I just do U unwrap, and let's just go Shift Space to bring this out open here, okay. What we're going to want to do is we're going to want to say select everything and then UVs average island scale, and that does actually make everything the right size. So although this stuff's pinned, it's actually made it smaller, which is kind of what we want. Obviously the base, the main section is the biggest bit. So let's scale this down because we're going to need to. That's obvious, and then we can start trying to squeeze things in. Okay. So this piece here, depending on your thoughts, you could even make that a bit smaller in terms of the texture it takes up. I'm going to move you to the side for a minute. Let's do a couple of things. Let's try just grabbing that and did that go in there? It did not fit, did it? It did not fit. But we might be able to sort of grab it and sort of stick it over there. A, C, just grab those and just grab a few and then press Control L. You can see, let's let Control L, grab those, maybe do that, something like that, and then B, and then grab that and put it over there somewhere. Well, that's worked well, isn't it? I'll tell you what though, just A, C, Control L. It's nowhere near, is it? Okay, that's fine. Put that there for now, and then again Control L, grab that, pop it there. Control L. If you don't do Control L, it might only grab one of them. Actually, I can rotate that. Look there, like that. Pop that there, and that gives us a small amount of scaling, doesn't it? If we don't care about this section here, which let's be honest we don't because it's on the underside, we could make this a touch bigger. Can we? We can if we... No, I'm not sure we can, you know. What you can do, And what I found a rather good thing to do, or now I've completely forgotten what's what, is make the barrel a bit larger in terms of the. So let's just scale that up. There's no harm in this, is there? It's going to be scale it up as much as we can. Just that way we can add a little bit more interest to the thing, and we can do that with this as well. Just do that, Control L, scale you up, scale you down, and I'm guessing the same with you. Control L, scale you up, grab you, scale you up, grab you, scale you up, grab you, grab you. I'm just beginning to wonder. Control L, grab you. Can I do something like this? Not going to scale much there, is it? Something like that. There we go. Okay, and that only leaves this bit here, which clearly doesn't fit anymore. A couple of things we could do just to mess it up. What I'm going to do is I'm going to scale that right down, pop it over there. Let's try and make it as big as we can. Okay. And that is an unwrapped machine gun turret. Okay, let's have a quick look at it. I like the way this is looking. Okay, like I say, it's looking very basic and bland at the minute, but it is looking like a machine gun turret. And if I select it and rotate it on the Z, you can see that we can move it around, and that'll look very cool when it's actually inside the Blender game. In the next part, we'll move on to texturing the. Let's do the missile launcher next. That's actually very easy to do. Shouldn't take us very long, particularly now we're running with the turret tops. This one will be a lot quicker. So hopefully see you next time. Please be sure to like and subscribe and comment. I mean, for goodness sakes, I know I tend to ramble, so if there's anything I didn't explain very well, didn't put any key mappings in, or didn't explain it, please let me know. I will reply to every question, or at least I will try my damnedest to reply to every question. I hope you've enjoyed this, and I look forward to seeing you in part D for the missile launcher turret. See you then. Thank you. Bye bye.